All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. I'm at Cards and Culture on the purple couch. It's been a minute. I don't think I've had a guest in here for like 2 or 3 weeks. My life's been crazy. So, Blayne Enlow, I appreciate you being here, my man. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate you asking me to come on.
Absolutely. So, guys, Blayne's a professional baseball player. He's on the journey. I feel like it was yesterday that I was in the exact same situation where you're at, journey on the way up.
Dude.
It does, dude. It's crazy.
Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm about to be in my 6th year of ball. Like, it's crazy. It just, year by year, the off seasons go by quicker and the spring trainings come by faster, man.
Yep.
You know how it is.
Yep.
Seasons sometimes feel like they're longer, and then sometimes they feel like they're going quicker.
Yeah.
But it was a little weird, though, with me, though, because I had the Corona year. And then also, right after that, a little TJ. So I had like the 2-year out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I had 2 years
Feels like
out.
you probably were so far away from playing a game. Yeah.
Dude, unbelievable.
Oh, man. All right, good. We're going to dive into some good shit on that. I forgot that you had the COVID year, too. Like, and I've interviewed, talked to a bunch of baseball guys that have gone through the COVID thing from major league levels all the way down to the minors. So where were you at when that happened? Must have been pretty early on, huh?
Yeah, so it was 3rd year going into it. It was 2020, obviously, and it was a spring training. And we're on a beach. We're just like going kick it, and we hear about, oh, we might not have any more games. Like spring training.
You guys
might
were
get
in
canceled.
spring training, right? Or
yeah.
getting ready for it, right?
And it was heating up. Like everyone knew the Corona was like a thing, kinda, right? But we're literally on a beach, and like a couple of buddies, we know we had to go do stuff the next day, whatever. Just trying to enjoy some time. We're like, yeah, we don't have ball tomorrow. We got a meeting at 8:00. We're like, what? Are you kidding me?
Nuts.
So sure enough, next day.
And that's when you found out?
We had a meeting the next day. They said, everyone just go home. Like, you go home now. Like, it was just like that.
Yeah.
Like, from thinking that we're about to go have a full season, spring training, to one day, they're just like, everyone go home. Like, and I was renting a spot out in Fort Myers, too. So you know how it is. Like, you get that, and you're in spring training, so you think you got a month left. So I ended up staying over there. We extended the lease, so I kind of enjoyed a little bit of time in Florida for the Corona off season.
Yeah.
All we did was golf. You know, you couldn't do anything else.
You were limited. I'm surprised you even could play golf like that. They were going to let you do something like that. Yeah.
Florida was nice with it. Like they
That's
had
right.
it very lenient.
Yes. Yeah.
And they did it. I think they did it the right way. That's just on me though.
I agree. We were definitely more lax here, and I was a gym owner, so it was like I was, had a couple of businesses, and I was like trying to figure it out. But people here were like, "All right, this thing is not as serious
Not
as
as serious as
other
some
people are."
think.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
Florida was definitely on that bandwagon, or at least leading the train, maybe even too. So
no, it was
a smart
definitely
choice.
good. Yeah, I agree. It was a weird year though, man. Talk about just they didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
like ball is your whole life. I've been doing it for 3-4 years, pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
Every summer I had baseball. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It goes from summer ball when you're a little kid to just everything, and then you're doing showcases and all kind of stuff in high school. Then you got pro ball, so it just feels like you never had it. It was nice, but it wasn't. Like, it was like you had too much free time to do whatever, and I didn't even know what to do. You know?
Yeah, and I think too, I think the cool part that I'm gonna dive into and lean into was I think you're one of the first, not the first. Maybe because a lot of guys I interview went to LSU or things like that, right? Have had the college experience. So you coming out of high school, you were a 3rd rounder, right?
Yeah, 3rd rounder.
3rd rounder out of high school, out of Louisiana. Now you're in pro ball. You're in Florida. You don't have college friends and things like that. No. The college experience to bounce back from. So like, you just have your boys from pro ball and everything. And so that's like,
yeah, that's what we did. I just stayed with 2 of my guys that Jordan Balazovic. He got drafted a year before, and as well as Akil Badu, which he ended up making his debut 2 years ago with the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that hit his home run, his first at bat, first pitch of the.
Yes. What's his name?
Akil Badu.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was us
that.
3 that were living
cool.
out over there, and that's your brothers, man. Like whenever you first get drafted, because that's when I was 18, they were all high school 18-year-olds. So it was just different because obviously like you have that winning team mentality when you go to college, and those guys, y'all get like a bond. Your brothers.
It's different. Yeah.
It's different at pro ball. Like you're playing to win. But it's not, it's not
player development.
It's player development. Let's see how good you can get yourself, and
if the team
you
wins,
can see
great.
that. Yeah, all the way. It don't matter from rookie ball to AAA. Like until you get to the bigs, it's hard. It's hard to have that
development.
Yeah,
and it was such a weird mindset for me too. Like you said, mean, high school, you're trying to win and stuff, but when you get to college and you're winning, it's a different level, right? So to get to pro ball and then have to erase all that bullshit. I tell people this story all the time, and this is how I got introduced real quick to it being a business, and it's not about winning. So I got drafted in the first round. The guy that got drafted in the second round was a guy named Brandon Workman for Texas. And then our third round pick was this kid named Sean Coyle, and he was a high school kid from Pennsylvania, but he was like 5'6", but he had pop. And
some juice on
yeah,
him,
he had
bro.
juice, yeah. But he was like, and they paid him, so he was like a big name guy, you know what I'm saying? They overpaid Workman, they overpaid me, so we were like the guys that got drafted together. Workman's 6'6", I'm 6'7", Coyle's 5'6". So we all hung out together, and we always called him the kid, right?
That is funny.
Buddy hits his first fucking home run. Oppo is he was juiced, everything. So Brandon and I are on the top step, like, yeah, fuck yeah, kid. Literally, the kid, he's not even to second base yet. Our manager comes from third base, like he's coaching third base, comes over, he goes, I don't want to hear that fucking college bullshit from you motherfuckers. Sit the fuck down, hit him on his ass when he comes in, because that's what he's supposed to fucking do. And you're like,
yeah, bro.
all right.
That's welcome to minor league baseball.
I was like, it's the kid's fucking first pro home run. Like, we can celebrate, right?
We want that ball. We're asking for the ball, everything.
But I was like, oh, okay, this is pro ball. This is different. This isn't LSU where we're banging helmets and shit, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So that was a wild experience for me. And I was like, all right, this is a business. Yeah, this is a lot different.
I get into it, and all I remember is I could keep calling all of them coaches, and they hate. You do not call any pro coach a coach. Ever. You call them by their first name, last name, nickname. That's it. You don't do anything else. I was getting fined for calling coaches coach but if I don't call my coach that in high school, you better start running.
Exactly.
Like, no question. Yep. So that was my biggest jump into it, but not having that, because even college, you still probably called Maneri. Maneri was Coach Maneri.
100%. I still call him coach to this day. I'm like,
you don't
when people call him
Paul,
I'm like, what? Who?
I can't do that.
That's right. Yeah. No, so I remember that too. That was one of the first. I do remember I had a bunch of people tell me that. They were like, yo, heads up, don't call anybody coach. You're going to get fucking fined, or they'll fucking rip you. They're going to give you shit. And you're like, all right. But it's like second nature to be like, hey, what's your Krabby? You like look at the back of his jersey.
I'm 18. I'm baby face. I'm looking at a dude with a full grown beard, at least 40 years old. And he's like, you call me by my first name.
And you're like,
all right, well, I grow up now. Let's go. Time to do it.
Great. Yeah. Well, that's good. I love it. So let's talk a little bit. Let's backtrack. You grew up in so what's the town that you grew up in? Technically,
I grew up in Sorrento, Louisiana. I was born in Baton Rouge, born and raised here my whole life. Went to Amant High School, and man, I loved it over there. I still do. That's why I came home for this off season. I love to travel. I love going everywhere, but something just always brings me back home, man.
I love that.
There's the people out here are different. The nicest, most genuine people you can probably meet are all in the South, and I would definitely vouch for Louisiana. So, and there's nothing like your childhood friends.
Yeah. No, I love that. I fucking grew up in New Jersey for 17 years, and I've lived here for 16 now. So it's like, I get it. Like, that's exactly, I love living here. So, but where were you committed to?
I was committed to LSU.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? Okay.
I thought I did, but I wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, it wasn't like Ole Miss or Bama or something, you know?
We really get on it.
I do remember, actually, now that I do, because you were high profile and everybody was making a big deal if you were going to sign or not. So talk to us about that process, because, I had it on a small scale. I was, but not, I don't think I was hyped the way you were.
Yeah, that was a lot. Junior year, senior year. And it was a lot, but I loved it. But there was day by day that I was seeing a pro scout for my senior year. Let's just go senior year just for the pro scouts. From December to January, every other day or like twice a day, like all the pro scouts wanted to come meet up. And it was awesome. It's a cool experience. But when you got 30 of them in a month and you can't go do normal stuff,
so you're not a kid.
You're talking baseball. They want to dissect you to a T to try to figure out who you are, see your family. They're trying to ask you questions to try to see how you're going to answer, just see how you go. Even if there's no right or wrong answers a lot of the time, they just want to know who you are. And it was cool just experiencing that and getting to just, have that attention at the same time, which it was such a hard decision because LSU, I grew up and I've watched games my whole life. I remember watching y'all play, dude. I did that, going to games, good buddies Cole and my roommate now, Kramer, watching them growing up, seeing them, I always wanted to be LSU.
Yeah.
But, I mean, money was too good, and it was life-changing money, and I just had to go that route with it. But the experience of just, how much attention was shown, because it was literally, I was really nothing on sophomore year.
Really?
I did one thing with Prep Baseball Report. His name's Trey Sofio.
Okay.
And I did a little showcase over there, and I hit like 88, 89. I didn't even know I was throwing that hard. But after,
were you always kind of tall too?
I was tall, skinny.
So you saw the potential and all that. Yeah.
So it was very projectable body. And he ended up, right after that, he was like, hey, I'm seriously going to like talk to LSU for you and get them. And then also Kirk Solos, I think, was at TCU.
Okay.
He got me with them. So it was two college teams, and then it kind of took off from there. I committed very early to LSU, loved LSU. I knew where I wanted to be. My heart was always here.
Yeah.
And then it was the next year after that where I did the Team USA trials, and I just absolutely wiped everyone out.
Really?
Like, my stuff was electric. 6 innings, like 10 Ks, one hit, one base on ball. Yeah, in the trials.
That's nice.
The guy that got a hit, I picked off, so like there was no damage done. And then after that, like I never did a perfect game event. Got invited to do perfect game All-American. I got invited to do Under Armour All-American.
Yeah.
But I was doing American Legion at the time, and I couldn't make it because if you leave American Legion, you ever heard about the rules, how strict they are?
Yeah.
So I had to switch that. So just went from that to
that shit probably happens
like
so
that,
fast too,
dude. In high school,
that's what I mean. Did anybody in your family, like your pops or anybody, play pro ball or have an experience playing in college or anything?
He played college ball, but he never went pro. And my brother played college as well. He went to Delgado, so I saw a little bit of it.
A little bit, yeah, but not on the scale
Nothing
of
on
getting drafted and like making decisions whether I want to go to college or fucking take this money that, you know what I'm saying, that's supposed to last me the rest of my life.
The rest of your life, yeah. And it was a crazy decision. Like, do you know how I got?
No.
So I thought I was supposed to be a first, I
remember that
top 2 rounds, and I didn't get picked up the first day. I was asking 2.5 and didn't end up getting it, and it was a little too much where guys didn't want to pay it, and a lot of teams knew I had a very, very strong pull to LSU.
Right.
So teams aren't going to want to take that risk. Right. That's a lot of money that they're putting up on the table.
Yeah. And
it's
a high pick. Yeah, exactly, high pick. Yeah.
So the next day, that night. My agent's like, don't go do anything tomorrow. Like, you got the draft, whatever. I don't listen. I go out to the golf course and ended up getting drafted out there. But it's crazy because he's telling me, keep my phone on me. Meanwhile, I'm putting. I hear my phone going off. I'm not really thinking anything of it. The draft's about to happen. And he calls me. I missed one of his calls. He called me again. His name's Will McGuffey. I don't know if you know Will McGuffey.
Yeah.
He was my agent at the time with Frontline.
Yeah.
And ended up. My fault. Lost train of thought.
No, you're good. Will McGuffey, you're on the golf course. Yeah, sorry, Joe was rude and came and interrupted us now. You're on the golf course. You were getting drafted. You were an idiot, you said, and didn't pay attention to your phone.
And I get on a phone call with him, and it's him and my dad. They're like, dude, you got like 30 seconds to decide. The Twins want you for $2 million. You want it or not? And I'm like, 30 seconds.
30 seconds to sign my future. Sick. And it wasn't the number that I said.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't want to go to school, so I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. So I pulled it. I got a video. We could show it all, maybe put it at the end of the video or something like that.
Yes, you have to show it. That's unbelievable. Wait, your boys, like, are you guys out on the golf course and everything?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I want to see that.
We'll get it later.
That's unbelievable. No, that's a great story. I mean, dude, the draft stories are unbelievable, especially the way that they go down, all that. I actually wound up, when I wound up signing, I got drafted by the Red Sox. I was I was on a plane coming back from UCLA. So it's like everybody's experience is crazy.
So different.
So different. I remember my high school one was very similar to yours. I was not projected to be a first rounder or a second rounder. I was more like 3rd to 10th, out of high school, but same thing, high projectability. I was like 88 to 91 out of high school, and they were like, he's 6'7", he can fill out, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah, no kidding.
All that stuff. So they knew my number was 500. My number was 500,000. Everybody's calling, would you take 350 in the 3rd round? Like, we'll pick you a little higher, but we'll give you
They know only what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So
talking about billionaire owners.
Yeah, they know exactly. And the thing is, too, it all depends on what life-changing money is to you too, right?
That's so different for everyone.
Exactly.
It's completely different for everyone.
Exactly. So at the time, my family was good, but we weren't like great. So 500,000 was like a big number to us, So it was like
500 a few years ago was definitely still a lot more than it is right now,
yes,
too.
That definitely plays into it. Yeah, because that was actually in 2007. So
yeah, no, way more. Yeah. That's crazy.
But that's the same thing. It was like I said no a bunch, and then I wound up getting picked in the 11th round by the Rangers. And then I talked to them a little bit during the summer, but they knew I wanted $500,000, right? The day my truck is packed up, like to go to LSU. My dad and I are driving down. They call and they were like, the highest offer they gave me was like 375, 400 or something like that. And then they call and they were like, would you do 485? Like the day I'm leaving, I was like, Dad, if they would have called a day ago, I would have said yes and been like 15 grand, let's go, you know? But
the fact they made you wait.
Yeah, and I'm in the truck. I'm like, we're packed up. He's like, fuck it, let's go. He's like, let's drive down. Tell him to fuck off. And I was like, I love it. So we went down to LSU, and I was like, that was it. Yeah. So that's how I was like, no, you know, like, but it's crazy how you make that decision right then and there, you know.
And who's about to say, dude? And you were packed up. Yep. You went to LSU. I'm sure you loved LSU.
Yeah. It was the best decision. I definitely, the whole ride down was like, did I make the right decision? My first semester, I was sweating, you know, like
I was like the
things.
first year pro ball.
Yeah.
No lie. Like doing that, and like, I'm seeing all my boys that I knew, because I knew like Daniel Cabrera, like a lot of the guys that are on the team, like we are all close, you know? So I'm like, did I make the right decision? I see these boys like really having fun, which pro ball is fun. It's as fun as you make it.
Yeah.
But when I go over there, I'm like one of 4 18-year-olds, and the rest of the guys are 25, 26. I can't really get along with these dudes yet. You know, I got paid a little bit of money. Some of them guys are a little like, oh, that's a money baby.
Exactly.
Like, and definitely get the wrong look sometimes on that. And
I definitely want to dive into that bonus baby. Like that's a
real thing.
Yes.
That was a real thing. I'll be honest too. I didn't treat it right the whole time either. Like I was 18, got a whole lot of money. You know, it changed me. It definitely changes you.
I mean, I don't say I love hearing that, but I'm sure you learned some things through that process.
Absolutely, some of the best things. Like you got to go through failure for you to level up, and I'm a big believer in that. Like the worse it is, like the more. I don't want someone that's had it good their whole life. Like, I want to hear about someone that went through some struggles.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know that motherfucker's gonna grind.
Yep. No,
you know,
100%. I think some of the best coaches I had, I feel like I didn't want to listen to the guy that was. I didn't want to. As much as I respected what Greg Maddux had to say, it was like, bro, the game was easy for you. You know, I don't want to say easy,
but no,
your success.
I definitely get.
I'm not on that level. Like, give me somebody who's struggling up and down. I can speak their language. I knew that they had to learn stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for me, 100%. So. I know you've definitely learned some things being 18 years old and going through those growing pains and being the bonus baby and shit like that. I think I've seen it even just you and I met, 3 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, I came down to the spot that one time. I was trying to figure a lot of stuff out. And I had no idea I wanted to do. That was the Corona year, I believe, right? Or it was the year after Corona.
It was like, right, because I opened the gym. I remember you came to the gym, and I was just figuring out all the gym shit with Corona. So it was like probably a couple months into Corona, probably something like that.
Because you're doing, you still got the F45.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to get a feel for what it was at. And that was like the first time we met. And I mean, obviously it didn't end up working out, but like I was still so lost because like I didn't have ball. I didn't know where I wanted to be, you know, and it was just taking me. I wanted to go travel. I was like, oh, I got a summer. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
And that was that Corona year. But if we're going to like take a little step back to going like 18, like you're still like, I was still a kid. I was definitely little. I wouldn't say I wish I would have, if I would have knew everything I would have knew now, going back then, it would have been way smoother. But if I wouldn't have went through all the ups and downs of going through that, obviously I wouldn't be where I am right now, talking to you, sitting right here, and just moving the right way.
Yep. That's the big life conundrum. Is like, right? It's like, oh, if I only knew what I knew now, but you know what you know now because you fucked up, or you made mistakes, or you could have done things better, right? So it's
I got caught in the listen to a lot of other people. A lot of people that I don't talk to, haven't talked to in years. Yeah. But whenever you're 18 and you went to high school with a lot of guys, and you know they're not on the same path that I was, but I didn't see it like that. I was just like, these are my dogs, these are my guys. Yep. Like, you know how it is.
And they didn't have anybody that had money before that. You know, like that.
I didn't have anybody that knew how to take care of this. So I'm doing this all by myself as an 18-year-old kid, and they go, yeah, you got 2 weeks and you're traveling off to Florida, and I was like, okay, gone for 3 months, so come back home, got money. I'm like, oh, you know, like. It sucks to say. I'm gonna just be brutally honest, but like it even changed like things that I did with my family and stuff like that. Like some guys could have took it here. Like I went the wrong route for a little bit. That was just me. But it's my story, you know, and I learned from it. So like you're trying to make everything better. But whenever you're 18, you got a little bit of money, got a little bit of power. You want to go do what you want to do. That's why I did that to the full extreme.
Yeah. Dude, I'm 33 and I'm still fucking with that, learning that balance, dude. I'm telling you, it's never gonna stop, especially with the opportunities that you're gonna have in your life. You know what I'm saying? So every time you learn something or fuck up or make a mistake, it's an opportunity to just learn and I always say like feather in your cap. It's like, all right, cool. I've experienced that now. I've done it. I've messed up. It's like, or I checked it off the box and it wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or it was, and it was cool, but I don't need to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Whatever
it gets
is,
to a point where it's like, all right, I'm grown out of that. Bam.
Exactly.
And that's just what it's been past 3-4 years. Like, it's been way better now. Like, I definitely not figured it out, but
right.
On the
You're
right
figuring
way.
it out for you. You're on the path. That's it.
No one's got it figured out.
No one.
And,
and if you meet somebody who says they do, like, run as far away as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cap.
Yeah, facts.
Whole lot of cap.
Yep. All right. So one of the things when you were saying this, when you were like, my boys went to LSU, and I don't know why this popped into my head, but I think because of like, I had a little bit of this, like, I don't want to say I was jealous. I didn't play during a social media era, so like there was times where I was in pro ball and I'm like, these motherfuckers got 50,000 followers and shit, and like people like they have a different experience at LSU than I had, right? So there was
bro, LSU, for people that don't know LSU, it's the #1 fan base of all college baseball. Not even close. LSU, I mean, year by year.
People are crazy. Like these guys had more followers than big leaguers and shit. And I was just like, and it was the explosion of Instagram and all that stuff, right? So I don't know. Like I was wondering, like, did that fuck with you a little bit? Because I feel like if I were 19, I mean, I was going through it at 24, you know, and I was in the big leagues and I was like jealous of these kids. So I was thinking of like 18, 19, how hard it would be to be in like low A or in rookie ball and being like, yeah, I'm paid, but like these dudes are having a great college experience. Like,
seeing all that.
Yeah, you're seeing it from a
them.
perspective that might not even be that real, but like you're sitting there in a different way, looking at it differently, you know?
And the perspective I see is Cedar Rapids, Iowa, you know?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
You're like in Midwest League, if you ever been to Clinton or Beloit, like you talk about some of the worst fields you could ever think of. Like it should have been illegal for them to have that as long as they did. Which Beloit they rechanged finally. Clinton, I think, is completely gone. They've been needing to do that. But
some of the locker rooms I played in short season, right when I signed, like that year, I'm like, this is a joke. Like this is like high school JV shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, this is
terrible. And they calling us pros.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm walking through this field with flip flops, and I'm like, I have a bat. I'm like, this is not pro baseball. Like,
no,
it's crazy. So I can't imagine what it was like seeing your boys being at LSU and being like, this is what they're getting, and I'm
grinding 2 to 10 every night.
Exactly. Yeah.
Longer some nights.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
it must have been hard, probably.
Seeing them, for the first year was definitely hard. But I came home for the first year too. I ended up getting a spot at Southgate.
Okay.
So I was at Southgate Towers. So I it was nice that I got to live kind of college experience.
But didn't have to go to school.
Didn't have to go to school. But then saw the guys that were playing for something and all the dudes, you know, like of course you want to be there.
Yeah.
Of course. But you know, but I just kept telling myself, you know, this is the right decision for me and my future at the end of the day. And that's just how you gotta think of it. Even seeing that, you're like, well, I can't change it.
Yeah.
And I had 30 seconds. Like, you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? Like, you have 30 seconds to decide if you want to do that or go to pro ball. Which pro ball, I mean, I love it, man. You gotta love it. If you don't love it, you're not gonna stay in it very long.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that from you hearing that. So so let's go. You went COVID, sat out a year, but then you had Tommy John, right? So talk to me through the process. I kind of had a similar experience. I didn't sit out a whole year, but I had a lot of injuries, right? I was the top prospect, so I'm sure you're in that world, top prospect, you were paid and all that, you know, and everything, but then you have some injuries, so it kind of throws you off the path.
Absolutely.
How'd you handle that?
So the Corona was just a weird time. You know, they ended up having the taxi squad, and I wasn't taking care of my business. They didn't put me on taxi squad.
Yeah. Are you on the 40 man?
I am on 40 man.
Cool.
Year 2.
Yep.
And then, so missed the whole year. So you already don't have ball, right? And you're like thinking of what you could do. Like baseball has been my whole life. Like I love it to death. And not having baseball, like it really fired me up for the next year because like I was like, you know what? Let's get it. Let's go. Like I missed a whole year, which it made me feel so bad because like my job is to get to the big leagues. The big leaguers were still playing.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm in another perspective of now I'm just watching ball, like, and I can't do nothing about it. I can't do nothing to help me out. So I had to watch that all home. So I kind of took it as like a detox year. Like, you know what? Like, I'm not on the taxi squad. I'm just going to go get away from baseball about as far as possible for a couple months and just go travel, do all that stuff. And then I had my fun, whatever. Come back spring training really ready. I don't think I was more ready for any spring training in my life. Like, dude, I was looking really good. Stuff felt good. I feel like I couldn't miss a spot, you know? And then get into season, 3 weeks in the season, I ended up finding out that I had a torn UCL. So
you do it on one pitch, or was it like kind of nagging a little bit?
I finished the game. I finished my outing, and like I could tell something was up. Like I was doing this, and then like I was like, all right, we're just gonna see it tomorrow. And then like the next day, like I slept like this, and I'm trying to go out like this, and it's just like excruciating pain. Yeah. And I finally got it straight, and then like to go back, it was just no. I was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I didn't tell a coach. I didn't tell a trainer for like 4 days, 5 days. I just was throwing light, like really light. I was like, look, you just gotta
like, hopefully it'll get better.
With me. Yeah. Putting a cup right on it directly.
Dude, I've done it all. Trust me. I've been fucking icing at 8 a.m. in the morning,
You're
like
desperate.
heating,
You're
icing.
Like, just feel better.
Yes.
Feel better, please. But ended up, I was throwing my bullpen, and I had like 5, 6 pitches, and my coach goes, you haven't thrown a ball over 80? I said, I know.
He's like, what's wrong with you? And you're like,
yeah. I think I need to go to the training room. You want to go to the training room, get the MRI. Sure enough, find out how to get TJ. So already missed a year.
Were you about to, double A?
I was in high A. Okay. So I was back. I went to high back to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Like, dude, the last place you would want to be. Yeah. It's not bad actually, man. It keeps you. There's just not a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I love whenever there's something that you can go do, like to get your mind away from baseball. Because during the season, too much ball will kill you. It will.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a year. Then 3 weeks in the season, I thought, and I'm killing it, dude. I ripped it. Like I had 14.2 innings or 14.1 innings, like 23 Ks.
Damn. Like, to start the year?
To start off the first 3 outings.
Yeah.
And I was taking off. So you know how you get in that zone that you feel like no one can hit you?
Yeah, 100%.
That's where I was at. That's the best feeling in the world. I just need to get right back to that. But this, then obviously, so pretty much 2 years off a ball, man. And then last year ended up coming back. And it was a solid year. Man. It was a big year of growth. It was just a roller coaster. The arm, it just you didn't know how it was going to feel.
Yeah.
Feel
that first year after Tommy John's,
good.
Yeah.
You just
where were you at? Double A?
I was Double A the whole year. Wichita, Kansas, yes sir.
Oh, how was that?
It was dude.
I feel like Wichita would be sneaky good.
It is. It's sneaky good. Sneaky good. The setup is unbelievable. They just had a new $75 million stadium put in. So
that's nice. That's not bad.
No.
What league is that?
That is the Texas League.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So what were some of the other ones, like Montgomery and like
San Antonio?
San Antonio's nice.
Frisco.
How was San Antonio?
Northwest
Frisco's
Arkansas.
Nice. Yeah,
the Frisco is unbelievable. I love Frisco.
Frisco's awesome.
Saw the what's it called? The Dallas spot. They got the Star.
The Stars.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Nice. Sick. Sick area.
Yeah,
love Frisco.
I loved Frisco. That was Double A with the Rangers. So every now and then, like we would have like weird scrimmage, like after spring training, it would be like where we would scrimmage a couple times, like before the teams broke off and all that stuff. So Frisco was a good spot. I loved Frisco. Dude, that's awesome.
It's clean.
Yeah.
It's a clean spot, man.
So Double A last year, and it was up and down. You said?
Yeah, dude. I had one really good month of August, and like so I was starting, and they moved me the reliever, and then I went to the relieving role just to like come back for innings sit and all back, and make sure that I come back like healthy because I was already at like 61, 62 innings.
Okay,
and it's been like I kept reminding them like. It hasn't just been 1 year. Like, it's been 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I
need to
really
slowly build up here, yeah.
That I throw, and then we have, like, lives here and there for the Corona, but it's not the same as that in-game intensity.
No.
You can't compare it.
At all, yeah. So are you feeling good about going with the Twins this year? Relieving, starting, all that? Like, what's the
they told me they're going to give me another shot starting.
You want to start, huh?
I want to start.
Yeah.
I want to start. They got me going on a sinker, so now it'd be 5-pitch mix.
Nice.
Get in the zone.
I was just going to ask what your mix is.
Yeah, so
what's your fastball? Coming back from Tommy John, how was your fastball? Like, did you get your velo, everything? Did it feel good?
It touched back. It wasn't as consistently up as it was the years previous, but that's normal.
Yeah.
So I'm right back to right around where I was. So now this is where we're working. I'm working out at Traction with Clay. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but we got a good squad. And dude, he's got some really good workouts that we're doing, and I'm excited to see what happens this year.
I was actually going to join you guys, but because I hate saying this because I feel like such a tool, but there was a slight opportunity that I was I had him in maybe with Team Italy for the World Baseball Classic.
Really?
I hate saying this because I'm out of the game for fucking 5 years. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be like, you're delusional.
Dude,
but
you looked the part, bro. You kept up, son.
I was fucking,
Hey.
so I just kind of had a little injury in my fucking groin and my like lower abdomen, but I was like 92, 94 and I'm feeling,
Still.
yeah, I'm like indoors in Marucci.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling good. So
Bro,
like,
you gotta love that.
I was about to jump back in with you guys and just see how it went, you know, and you never know. So like I was,
Bro, come on.
I know. I kind of want to. I do. I want to. And as soon as I get this shit right, it was just fun to throw a baseball again. I really actually just started.
Just miss it, man.
I just went into Marucci's hitter's house and was just
that.
throwing, just by myself, quiet. You know what I'm saying? It was like almost like a therapy thing, just to be like, man, this feels good. It was quiet. I was by myself. I didn't have the pressure of people. Like, I have to throw a baseball perfect. There's people watching, you know, all this shit. So it was good. And fuck, man, it was actually like fun to throw again.
Yeah, dude. Because it could get. You could get lost in not having fun throwing. I'm sure you've been there before on certain occasions, but
where you just literally feel like it's not even.
It sounds so shitty, but taking it for granted. But you play. I want to see y'all play 140 games a year. You know,
dude,
every 162 if you're in the bigs.
Yeah,
day by day with very minimal off days.
It's a joke. And wait till you get the big leagues is actually like when you get there, you'll see. I mean, like it's longer games, but you get an off day every week. That's the nice part. So
they did put that in where it's every Monday you do get one
in the minor leagues too.
Minor leagues now, but seasons extended longer a couple of days because of that. Because obviously they have more off days.
That's fine to me, as long as you get an off day. Because there was times in the minor leagues where I would go we go stretches and it would be 28 days without a fucking off day.
Almost a full month where you didn't get an off day at all.
And if you have a rain out, it's over, right? Like it's like, oh boy, we're not getting an off day because you have to make it up somewhere down in the next 2. Yeah, exactly. So that's the worst part of the minor league. So that's what like. That's great if they did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they started doing a lot of double headers though, which is nice. So
I actually like double headers too. That was fun. Yeah.
The 7-9s, bro, bring them to me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Wait, so you guys do a 7 and then a 9? Well, we used to do 2 7s.
You can do 2 7s. Okay. I was looking at it as like if one of the games gets canceled, like 1 inning or 2 innings in, you still got to finish to 9.
Okay, it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, if you start the game, you got to finish it.
But if they bang it the night before you start it, then it's
7-7 next day.
That's nice. Yeah, 7 pitching 7. Yeah, those were so great.
Yeah,
you get to bang out 2 games, 14. That's the best. Well, good, man. So we're looking at this year coming into spring training. You got a chance. Like, where are you competing? AAA, or you trying to make the team? Because this is going to be your 3rd year on the 40 man, right?
Second year on 40 man.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be AAA, but you never know what happens. The team, if I come out showing up, and you never know because a lot of things happen with injuries and all such things. You never know. You definitely don't wish it, but it happens. It's definitely so much. So
that's such a weird.
Never know.
Let's talk about that. That's something we talked about earlier, right? Like when you get into pro ball, and it's not about, I don't care about winning, but it is about personal development. You're like, the goal is to get to the major leagues, and the organization will tell you that stuff, right? So I just lost my train of thought too. What was I just talking about before that?
You were just talking about the getting to spring training and stuff like that. Like getting to spring training
I was going to say something about
you
specifically.
Caught me.
I know. But it was about like the mindset of trying to get ready for, but like player development versus like winning, you know. This is what it was. It's almost like you're wishing for people to like get hurt, but not hurt. Like, right. Hey, I hope something happens so it opens up an opportunity for me. Like that's normal human emotion.
You just want an opportunity. Yeah. And if you get that opportunity, you never know what could happen, but it sucks. Cause like a lot of guys make it to the bigs just with the right timing, and some guys deserve the spot, and the timing is never right.
Exactly. That's the hard part.
That's real. That is real.
I remember when I got to the Rangers, this guy wound up being one of my I don't want to say best friends, but just best teammates. He was the best guy ever, but I held this like grudge against him almost because I'm like, this motherfucker got such an opportunity, and like, dude, and he ran with it, right? But it was just like, they literally, the year before I got to the Rangers, they had so many injuries that this kid had never pitched above high A, and he's in the big leagues now, and he's wound up making a nice career out of it. But he went from high A, and they just like literally they had so many injuries that they were like, Nick Martinez, is the next guy on the depth chart, so he's gonna start
all the way
opening
down
day
from high A.
Yes, he was on the opening day 5-man rotation. I was like, wait, what? He never pitched above high A.
And then it even could go from like, did he get that because he was hot for a month?
Exactly.
Because if someone else was hot for a month, he's not getting it because they're not gonna bring someone up that's not hot.
Exactly.
It's the weirdest. Yep. It's the most timing.
And so he wound up pitching 150 innings that year before. So he was like the guy that I was competing against, right? And they were like, well, we want to develop him and give him a chance. And like, so he made the team out of spring training over me. And it was just like,
it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that too.
And it's like one of those things, the year before he was not even in their plans. He would have been in AA, and like, it's just so funny how the game goes, right? And it's like, now that wasn't my chance and I'm in AAA, and it's like, you're almost wishing for something to happen, you know, and you're like, I don't know who it happens to, you know, but I just want an opportunity. So that's where I'm like, that's a little bit of a mind fuck, you know?
That's where it's like, let's go back to the college, how it would have been so nice where those guys, you know, you're trying to win for everything. Whereas in pro ball, the same guys that you're playing with are the same guys that you're facing to get to the big leagues. They're honestly your competition.
Exactly.
Or your team.
Exactly.
It's such a fuck thing.
It's a mind fuck. That's what I'm saying. Is like, you want them to do well.
You do. Like, there's no one out there.
Well, he's doing well. He might get the call over me.
So it's like, you just got to think like, all right, if he got 11 Ks and 7 innings, like, I'm going 12,
exactly,
7-1. Yeah. You know, like, it has to be like that, because I'm not about to shit on anyone. Like, everyone, like, you have the thoughts, but you're like, that ain't the right thing, bro. Right. There's no way I could do that.
I think one of the things I learned after pro ball, and that's why I was asking what your experience is, because I think I learned how to like compete with myself to be the best version of myself. And you just said it right there, right? All right, buddy did 7 innings, 10 Ks. Cool. How can I get better? He's setting the bar, but it's all about me, and I'm competing with myself.
At the end of the day, it's you versus you.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. Like, there's a bar, but it's all about the inner competition. It doesn't really actually matter what that dude did.
It doesn't.
He just set the standard, right?
Yeah.
And you just have to live up or do what you need to do. So that's one thing I wish I could, like, I wish I just had that mindset more versus like,
me too.
Man, I really was like looking over my shoulder. You know,
I try to remind myself that every day. It's always you versus you. There's really no competition other than yourself, man.
Yep. And you're going to get those
even
opportunities.
Even if it don't look like that sometimes.
Exactly. And you're going to get those opportunities being a higher round pick. They give you a good amount of money and things like that. You're on the 40-man. You're going to have those opportunities. It's just about like the mental side of it when you do get them too, right?
Yeah, you got to take care of it, bro.
Or the things that are out of your control, just understanding that, you know, that's going to happen or whatever.
They say, man, making it's the easy part.
Exactly. And then staying there though that's really what it was, is staying there is the hard part. So
you got a whole new round, like, draft every year. Kids just coming in, and for like a lot of people get it confused too. Like, it's like go to college or pro ball. Like, you're not just playing the best in the country. Like, you're playing the best in the world. Where in MLB, 50% of the people aren't even American anymore.
No,
maybe more.
Yeah,
it might be only like 40-30% now.
For real. And that's the
you got
biggest thing. You're
Dominicans,
competing with the world.
Puerto Ricans, Taiwan, like Japanese.
Yep.
Cuba, everywhere.
Yep, the phones and technology
Canada.
And cameras, like, everybody can be seen now and be scouted and stuff. So it's just creating more and more competition. So when you do get those opportunities, it's so much more priceless, you know, and important to take advantage of them and stuff. So
it's crazy. How is, like, so I always wanted to know someone else's like perspective on this one. Baseball's always been like that, and you see like basketball like kind of going towards that too, and like other sports. You think it'll ever be as big as it is in baseball?
What, the internet?
The like international like talent of like other sports.
That's a great question. I wonder why that is too. I don't know.
Why has baseball always been just?
Yeah, where the international stars come over and they're that much better.
I feel like baseball is kind of an expensive sport.
Right. Yeah,
you know, like
right.
basketball, you buy one basketball, you can go play anywhere if you got a hoop.
I was thinking about that the other day because we were talking about that, and it was like, well, why isn't baseball, you know, flourishing in inner cities? And it's like, oh, it's an expensive sport. And then you look at the third world countries in the Dominican, like these kids are playing with milk cartons, right?
Milk cartons, a bottle cap, and they're hitting it with a stick, man.
That's a good perspective. I don't know. I wonder why that is.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's just like the culture in those countries is like baseball and like soccer and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I don't think so in my head. Like, I don't think basketball international. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, that's a great, and you don't ever see it in football. Like, at all. That's just an American
very
sport.
Rare, very rare.
Maybe you have some like Australian people come over and punt or something. You
they
know,
must think we're crazy for playing football.
Definitely,
over here, bro.
Like those dumb Americans just hitting each other in the head. And shit.
It's like, geez.
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that. Well, good, man. We're gonna let you get out of here, but we got to do, once you get to the big leagues and stuff, I would love to just know that experience, that call up, all that stuff. It's going to be a really cool time.
We'll get back together, bro. I enjoyed this a lot.
This was really fun. Awesome. Thank you for taking the time. I think it's really cool to always tell people's story too, or give them a chance to tell people's story. And because, right, people maybe in Baton Rouge or that follow both of us on Instagram, you know, these social media things, make their minds up just from the phones and things and from a distance, right? But you get to know people a little bit more, their story a little bit more, know what they've been through and how they think and stuff like that.
Yeah, hearing it from them instead of just someone like that might not be a reliable source. Like you're getting it from them.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
I'm
having me.
I'm looking forward to watching your season this year and following up when you get to the big leagues. It'll be fun.
Yes, indeed, bro.
Yeah,
My
thanks,
guy,
bro.
Anthony.
Appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. And if y'all in Baton Rouge, y'all got to come check out Cards and Culture, man. The shop's sick. They got beautiful paintings. Got all the cars. Got some shoes now, man. Y'all come check it out.
We got it. Thank you. Appreciate that plug.
Yeah, bro.